Good evening, my name's Bronson and I'm from Senza Web Design. We do WordPress design and development. My talk's kind of complementary from Dejan's talk. It's basically how you can implement some of these things if you're using WordPress as your content management system. Could I just get a show of hands of people here who are using WordPress as their content management system? Excellent, so probably say 75% of the room. Now for those of you who don't know what WordPress is, it's an open source content management system. It currently powers 16.5% of the top 1 million websites on the internet, which is pretty phenomenal in itself. And if we actually break that stat down a little bit further, you can see that 54.1% of those top million that use the content management system use WordPress. So it's a pretty massive thing. And 22 out of the new 50 domains purchased in the States run WordPress, so it's a pretty fantastic tool. So SEO and WordPress pretty much go hand in hand, and that's been proven by Matt Cutts, who's the head of the web spam team at Google. So if he's promoting it, you know it's a good thing. The advantages of WordPress are endless. Usability is probably my key one, and for our clients too. You've also got search engine friendly URLs, which I'll talk about shortly. RSS feeds, content rich. Visitor participation is a really good one. It's just commenting on your site, interacting with your clients. It's good to create conversation, and it also helps build your brand because you're creating a personality. It's making you approachable. It's a really good part of WordPress that's built in. Scheduling of posts, so if you're an author, or you're talking about your brand, you can actually schedule posts in the future. They'll automatically publish, so if you want to be inspired one day a week, you could write 5 posts and just have them automatically scheduled. Ease of maintenance, one-click updates are great. And extensibility, you can make your site whatever you like. So straight out of the box in WordPress, if you want to change your permalink structure, you can do it here. Now your permalinks are basically what shows in your URL bar. So if you left WordPress as one by default, you'd have something like the top there, where it's got a question mark P equals 1, 2, 3. Obviously that means nothing to you guys, it means nothing to Google. So you want to try and make that friendly. So just by simply changing any of these options here, you've automatically helped your site with SEO. So for example, if you go with a day and name, if you have used that and had an about page on your site, which had the page title about, then it's going to have your site / about. Now, we want to do a lot more than that. So one of the great plugins to install on WordPress is called WordPress SEO by Yoast. It gives you full control over all the options up there, and a lot of which Dejan, well actually pretty much all of them except for the XML sitemaps and breadcrumbs have been touched on. So we'll just slowly work through them. So once this plugin's installed on your site, below your content area you'll see an additional meta box, which is WordPress SEO by Yoast. This little box here gives you a lot of power. As you can see, there's a snippet preview, very much like the Chrome extension that Dejan was showing earlier in Chrome. So you can do it from within your WordPress install too, so it's pretty cool. You put in your focus keywords. Really important one, as Dejan mentioned, your title tag is pretty much your most important thing that you want to have full control over. With this plugin, you've got SEO title there, so you can type it in there and it'll show up in the top of your browser. You've also got your meta description, which Dejan touched on too, so great control over some pretty important stuff straight out of the box. If you click on the advanced section there, you have a lot more control. This is a little bit more technical, but these guys would probably give you recommendations of things that you can do, and you can actually do it here. Things like not indexing some pages. So if you find some bad content after analysing your site, you can tell Google not to index it just by clicking the button, some of these buttons, and flip through them. So that's pretty cool. Canonical URLs, Dejan's touched on those also. They look complicated. And basically, yeah, there's extra things that people can add that link to pages on your site. Google won't know what all these different things are, but once you fill out this canonical URL here, that'll solve all your problems, so it's pretty easy to do. Breadcrumbs are another great one. It helps not only your users know where they're at, that, but to also backtrack through their site and to help Google kind of step over different parts of your site. So helping with your main navigation, breadcrumbs can kind of help a little bit more, but obviously you don't want to take that too far, as we found out in the earlier presentation. XML sitemaps are a pretty important one. With this, you just click a checkbox and it will do everything for you. You can tell it to exclude certain post types, so if your site has any custom stuff that you don't want this to show in your XML sitemap, you can get rid of that. Once you've got this set up, you'll then go over to Google Webmaster Tools and tell it where your sitemap's at, and then that's worked together really nicely. Social, so this has got Twitter and Facebook options built in. If you've noticed people share things around the place, especially Facebook, you'll see links come through, and some of them will have little images and descriptions, and others won't. The reason is there's extra additional data which is generated by Open Graph, which is mentioned there. Just by ticking this and filling out a couple of options here, this ensures that extra data is there on your site, so that when people are linking to it on Facebook, it'll have those extra features. And you've also got some more, which I couldn't fit in this screenshot, but it's for Twitter, so there's some extra metadata there that this will add for you too. So it's doing an amazing amount of work just with one plugin. Now, you guys can get in and apply this to your WordPress site if it's not in there already. Then obviously use this to help your site make money. Then after that, you want to rank higher in Google, and that's when you've dealt with a lot of the on-site stuff here, but you've got to deal with off-site stuff, and that's where these guys come in, because they're into link building, keyword research, stuff that you can't do on your own, and that's what they're there for. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what you can do on-site, and then after that it's off to off-site. So thanks for your time.